Salut à toutes et à tous et bienvenue dans Story Série, saison 4, épisode 30. Cette semaine, on réapprend à parler, à se confier et à écouter avec le retour sur nos écrans de la très grande In Treatment.
It's fucking crazy that people are still so averse to therapy, to self-exploration, to uncovering truth.
Well, I'm glad you like therapy. It should make my job easier.
I love it.
Adapté de la série israélienne Betty Pool, créée par Ragaï Levy, la version américaine de In Treatment a été lancée en 2008 pour 3 saisons, portée par l'Irlandais Gabriel Byrne.
For therapy to be effective, it's important that we be as honest as we can with each other.
11 ans après son dernier épisode, la série revient pour une 4e saison marquée par la pandémie de Covid, les violences raciales et les inégalités sociales qui rongent l'Amérique.
You grow up in a world of violence. I think this is a coping strategy.
I guess I'm just like a little scared.
Sur le siège de la psy, on retrouve l'impressionnante Uzo Aduba, récompensée par 3 Emmy pour ses prestations dans Orange is the New Black et Mrs. America. Et face à elle, on découvre des patients perdus, inquiets, parfois arrogants, mais toujours passionnants.
They're a cunt. Prosecutor was a cunt. The judge was a cunt. But see, I can't say that in here because you hear it in a different way. So I have to police myself, yes or no?
There's nothing wrong with being considerate of folks around you.
Nous avons parlé de cette exploration intime et puissante avec l'actrice et les co-showrunners de la série, Jennifer Sher et Joshua Allen.
Hi, Charlotte.
Hi, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you very much. I discovered you were thinking of quitting acting before Orange is the New Black, and now that I see In Treatment, I'm like, what a waste it would have been. I mean, can you believe what you've achieved?
Can I believe it?
Yes, it's insane what you've achieved.
No, it's still, it's still, if I'm being honest, it still feels like, am I awake? Am I dreaming? Is this real? Like, just, why? I don't know. I don't even have the words to really describe it. It just feels unbelievable. It feels unbelievable. And if it is a dream, I'm fine to sleep for the rest of my life.
But I need you to be patient because this work, it's not sexy, it's not fast. But if you trust the process, Eladio, you have 2 decades of wiring of behavior and neuroses and triggers and pathologies all tangled up. Why would that be simple?
I guess it's a bit of an exercise for an actress because you are in every bit, every minute, every second of the show. How was it?
It was a lot. You caught my little breath there. It was a lot of work. You know, I say this every time. It was the hardest job I've ever had done, but it was also the most fulfilling at the same time. I didn't even know, Charlotte, where or how I was wanting to be stretched more as an actor, and until I did this job, from just the heavy work of learning the lines and the material to the emotional depth and demand that the part required. This negotiation between work life and her real life, playing those 2 sides of someone's reality. And then just learning how to mine your way through life in its hard days.
You want lyrical, okay. Jung said there is no coming into consciousness without pain.
Oh, shit.
I like to think of that quote in relation to insomnia. Maybe it's not about the difficulty of falling asleep. Maybe we stay awake to avoid the moment we have to come to in our lives, where the dream world falls away, reality sets in.
Yeah.
She's as fragile as she's strong. She's really both extremes of emotions. How do you cope as an actress in between scenes and in between days, knowing tomorrow I have this very heavy scene, and how do you deal with that?
I think you used the right word. I think it's coping. I think it's getting through, and I think it's realizing, giving a level of room to both her and myself, to know that every one of us is just trying to make it to tomorrow. She's doing the best she can with the best she knows how. You know, that's as best she knows how to. You know, that's really all that can be asked of her, and hoping that she'll find the same empathy for herself that she's able to find for others.
Many themes you tackle, political, social issues, Black Lives Matters. It seems like it's a place to talk about those things. It's a safe space to talk about it for us as viewers with the show, something like that.
Yes. Yes, I think that, you know, a lot of people from a lot of different communities don't take advantage of mental health resources that might be available to them for a whole host of reasons, affordability, stigma, things like that. But I think it was important for us to shine a light on that. And hopefully, you know, someone will see therapy differently after watching us.
The whole justice system, well, I don't have to tell you, it's a joke. No, worse, it's a crime. Look, so you know, George Floyd, Black Lives, I would have been the first person out on those fucking streets. I get so enraged at the injustice, it absolutely breaks my heart.
We really tried to choose writers who could bring a diverse point of view to the series as well. I mean, you can't have a show that's talking about therapy in diverse communities and putting a different face on therapy in this day and age without having, you know, the people who have lived those experiences behind the scenes. And so I do think we have captured something really kind of lightning in a bottle when it comes to some of these things with some of these writers.
Layla needs to understand that she was born Black and she was born a woman.
It's been 11 years since the third season ended, and we always wonder why now? Why is it the right moment, you know, to tell this story again this way and so on? What do you think it is?
You know, I think the pandemic really instigated the discussion around whether or not this was time for treatment. You know, the second the world shut down back in March of 2020, things got very small for a lot of people, and a lot of people had to look inward and do some self-discovery, and to various effect. Some of it was very painful for a lot of people, and it was a struggle, and people are still struggling today. And it felt like a time to talk, to reimagine a show about mental health and about therapy, in the hopes that, you know, you show that everyone can benefit from it. Everyone can find an advocate out there to help them through these very difficult times.
I think now was the right moment, not only because for practical reasons, it's easier to produce a show where it's two people sort of sitting distant from each other on couches, but also because this is a sort of unprecedented moment in everybody's lives. You know, very few people on Earth right now can recall the Spanish flu pandemic from 100 years ago.
What would have happened if you called your mother instead of me?
Well, it'd be 5 a.m. in Florida. She'd still be restocking the grocery for another hour.
And when was the last time you spoke to her?
Like 4-5 months ago. She got COVID. Doctor at Tampa General called me and was like, you know, your mom's real sick. Not like ventilator sick, but sick.
A show about therapy is very therapeutic for viewers. It changes the way we think. It makes us think. How did it work on you while you were writing and working on it?
My fellow writers and I, we had a lot of conversations about our own lives and about our own experiences in therapy. And I think for me, it reinforced for me how important it is, frankly. Like there's always work to be done. There are always ways I can understand myself better. There are always ways I can be in better relationship with the people around me. So I think, yeah, working on this show was just sort of like a daily reminder of that.
Hello?
I'm sorry, I know it's late.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. It's just a fucking dream, yo. Jesus, mamita, I don't want to tell you the rest of it. It's only gonna make you worry.
If I worry, I worry. You don't need to protect me from my feelings.
I believe that as a viewer, when you watch the show, you think, I have to treat myself nicely, better. I have to learn from this show. And yeah, do you feel that it might be an impact you might have on us viewers?
I don't know. I mean, I think that would be wonderful if that happened, but happened because definitely what you learn, or I learned anyway, watching the show, was that the advice and, empathy that Brooke has for her patients, it's nowhere near. I mean, it's so much more, than what she is able to offer herself. I found myself fighting, hoping she'd fight for herself in the same way she fights for her patients. Yeah. So hopefully, that will be something that people watching will take away for themselves.
Yeah. And I believe that the fact that the patients call her Brooke and not doctor, which I do with my shrink, makes her even more human, even more, connected to us.
Absolutely. And I think it's something that she brings into the room. One of her treatment process is to use self-disclosure as a means to help her patients feel like the door has been opened and there's a space for them to share what it is that they're going through.
My dad designed some of the houses in the area.
Oh, wild. Wow, so your dad is an architect?
Yes.
Wow.
He was. He passed.
Sorry. How nice that he left something behind, though, that, made his mark, especially his... It's nice.
Yes. And now you know a little about me, and I know a little about you.
I thought that was great, to be honest with you. That's something I definitely could feel written in by Jen and Josh, that invitation, so that people could really open up and be themselves and feel like there wasn't someone perfect in there. And hopefully that they would know that there is no such thing as perfection, and that everybody has something they're fighting for, trying to make it to the other side of.
True. Thank you very, very much, and congratulations.
Thank you very much.
That's our time. See you next week, yeah?
Great.
Story Série, c'est terminé. La semaine prochaine, on rencontrera Anthony Horowitz, auteur prolifique de littérature et de séries, pour parler de l'adaptation de son best-seller, Alex Rider.
Hello, Alex. Your uncle worked for the British government. He was a spy. And I think you are too.
Allez, à la semaine prochaine.